don't understand. We used every single trick we could think of. We tried using all our usual voter fraud tricks. We tried having single voters voting multiple times. We tried having people vote under aliases and under the names of dead relatives. We tried jerry-rigging the electronic voting machines to only register Democrat votes. I mean, hell, we even tried blatantly removing Republican candidates from the ballots. Yeah.
Whining fucking maggots.
Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam.
Folks, I hope your day's going well, and if it isn't, it makes my job easier. Well, the midterm elections rolled into town last week. Yours truly got the opportunity to vote for the very first time, and while I could languish on the fact that Illinois still has a Democrat senator and a Democrat representative, I would much rather marvel in the fact that Illinois is going to have a new governor come January. Not just a Republican governor, but a governor who meets one of my criteria, because I am of the opinion that in order to run for public office, you must first be required that you have experience in either A, business, B, the military, or C, law enforcement. And Bruce Rauner happens to have experience in the A category of business. Now, apparently, the vast majority of the United States has decided that they're not content with the Democrat Party, the party of President Obama, and I use the term president rather loosely, holding majority in Congress. The American people have spoken, and they want a conservative Congress that is going to stand up to the filet-o-fail that is the Obama administration. Long story short, they're sick of the president, and they're sick of his party, and frankly, I don't blame them. No, I don't want to go off on a rant here, but what is pissing me off to no end is not the fact that we now have a Republican majority Congress. Quite the contrary. As long as they do what they were elected to do, which is to represent we the people that voted him in and to oppose Obama and his radical leftist agenda, then I am welcoming this Republican majority Congress with open arms and two erect middle fingers in the general direction of the now Democrat minority. What is pissing me off, actually it's not so much as pissing me off as it is just much worse annoying the ever-loving piss out of me, is the vast amount of sore losers on the side of the left, falling down, screaming like angry little children, crying and complaining and ranting and raving and throwing little temper tantrums because they didn't win. We don't understand! We used every single trick we could think of! We tried using all our usual voter fraud tricks! We tried having single voters voting multiple times. We tried having people vote under aliases and under the names of dead relatives. We tried jerry-rigging the electronic voting machines to only register Democrat votes. I mean, hell, we even tried blatantly removing Republican candidates from the ballots! Yeah. Yes, we know. I mean, hell, you guys even tried distancing yourselves away from Obama. The same Obama whose ass your party was kissing, both figuratively and literally, until you guys finally wised up around this election cycle and realized that we the people are currently receiving about 6 adjacent years of President Obama with about all the enthusiasm of a frickin' cancer diagnosis. At least those of us who actually still possess a critical thinking process. And now, because your usual tricks didn't work, and because you lost the midterm elections, and in a sweeping Reagan-esque landslide, despite the fact that you tried to pull your usual tricks and fool we the people into thinking that those of you who were touting an Obama administration like it was the second coming of Jesus Christ, were in actuality not touting an Obama administration like it was the second coming of Jesus Christ. You guys have now become the political equivalent of a spoiled brat who's throwing a little conniption fit because she didn't get the fancy new iPhone she wanted for Christmas. You guys are basically flopping around on the floor in the middle of the toy section at Walmart, screaming your primitive little heads off. You're taking literally every excuse you can formulate and throwing it against the wall just in a vain hope to make something, anything stick. Some of you are blaming voter suppression for it because how dare it should be required in some states that you be required to produce a photo ID to prove that you are who you say you are so that you can vote. Although here in Illinois you're not required to produce a photo ID to vote. How dare illegal immigrants not be allowed to vote for us? We promised them amnesty, damn And some of you are blaming racism and sexism. The American people just voted to have abortion on demand banned, and they just voted to have limitations on your contraception and your morning after pills. The American people have just voted against the first black president again. The party of old white men have just taken the majority of Congress, and we're now going to obstruct him, the president, even more because he's black. Never mind the fact that Obama's only half black. Never mind how many blacks won elections this time around. Oh, right, they're Republican blacks, i.e. independent thinkers, i.e. not playing the victim card, i.e. not acting as if the country owes them something as penance for slavery, i.e. not authentically black. Whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. Never mind several women who gained congressional seats, including Sarah Blair from West Virginia, an 18-year-old college freshman, the youngest lawmaker in recorded history, anyone? I mean, what about Mia Love, the first black woman to hold a congressional seat? Tim Scott, the first black man to be elected to Congress since in the South since Reconstruction. And those are just the first ones coming in off the top of my head and onto my script, which is now taped to the front of my TV set for further convenience purposes. I mean, check out the faces of the people who won for yourself. Google that stuff if you feel so inclined to do so. I mean, yeah, the Democrat Party lost because of racism and sexism and voter suppression. No, folks, you guys lost because we the people want a Congress that is going to actually do what they were elected to do. Not to backpedal, not to play footsie, not to waste their time worrying about the next election, but to do their job and represent we the people and remain as the structure that helps hold this country together. You lost the election, folks. I love how every time the left wins an election over us, they always immediately turn their noses up and go, "You lost the election, freaking deal with it, meh." Well, how does it feel to be on the other end, libs? You lost the election, folks. Deal with it. You ever watch Frozen? Let it go, but you're not gonna let it go. You know why? Because you're the American left, the oh so tolerant left. You see, who's never wrong, who never tries to lie or mislead, who never misspeaks, it's never your fault when your ideology leads the nation directly down the crapper. It's everybody else's fault. Now, do we on the right occasionally screw things up? Well, once in a blue moon, to be sure. I mean, to be completely fair, every now and again, yeah. But those of us with class and with common sense will seek to remedy our mistakes and to learn from our mistakes. You guys, well, I could run a list of all the times that the left has jacked things up and tried to shift the blame in someone else's general direction, but I don't want to waste 10 hours of my life or yours. Until then, so I'll just say it again, folks. You lost the election. Deal with it. Listen to Idina Menzel, folks. And this is what the left is saying. We don't care what the people say. Let the lies rage on. The truth never mattered much anyway. Of course, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I want to know what you think out there in YouTube land. Did you vote this election cycle? Did you not vote? Are you happy that we have a Republican majority Congress? Well, we will come January. I should have mentioned that. Or are you lamenting it? Or do you just not care because you think that everybody who's a politician is a filthy, rotten frickin' liar? Even though you can park that BS fantasy right next to the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, and Obamacare. Leave a comment, send a private message, like, favorite, subscribe. And I'm currently taking requests right now, so whatever topic you wish for me to discuss, please send that my way. Until then, I'm Chris the Liberty Gamer saying so long and have a good one.